Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. This is the first public meeting of the Belmont Comprehensive Plan Project. And tonight, we want to hear from you. We're going to talk about all the different things we're going to do today, but I first wanted to talk a little bit about logistics. So we have restrooms out this door and over to the side. We do have drinks and snacks in the back. Please feel free to grab anything that you'd like back there. Emergency exits are marked here and here, and hope we don't have to make use of any of that. I am going to take the first few slides. This is sort of our welcome and introductions. I'll talk a little bit about that. The consultants are going to talk about what a comprehensive plan is, a little overview of the planning process, the timeline. There may or may not be a polling opportunity. Then we're going to break into the workshop, which are these 9 stations that are the side and the back of the room. And Luke is going to talk a little bit about that. Luke is from VHB. I'll talk about next steps, and then we'll adjourn. Actually, we'll probably do the next steps before the workshop because we're not going to reconvene, so we're going to flip that. We have with us today the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. Could you raise your hand if you're here from the committee? Great, thank you all for coming. These are the folks that we have. If you go to their website, which they have a dedicated website, you can see their backgrounds. And first, before I turn it over to the VHB team, I want to introduce our Select Board Chair, Elizabeth. And she's going to say a few words and then turn it over to the chair of the Comprehensive Plan Committee for another few words. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Chris. Since Matt Taylor is present, I'm going to convene a meeting of the Select Board at 7:06 p.m. However, the Select Board is not leading this meeting, nor are we deliberating or otherwise conducting any town business. As a result, I will not be taking public comment on behalf of the Select Board. With that out of the way, let me begin by thanking Town Planner Chris Ryan for his introduction and for convening tonight's meeting. I also want to thank all of the members of the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee for their service to the town, and especially Elisa Gardner-Todres, Chair of the Compact, for her leadership. Each of Belmont's current Select Board members is keenly aware of the town's need for additional commercial property tax revenue and for thoughtful development that will reflect Belmont's changing needs and demographics. Belmont's current zoning bylaw is overly restrictive and internally inconsistent, making it difficult, if not impossible, to respond to the town's changing financial, business, and housing needs. We probably need to rewrite the entire bylaw to conform with best industry practices and access modern planning tools. However, prior to doing this, we need to draft and adopt a comprehensive plan that will serve as the foundation and guide for Belmont's future. In the fall of 2024, the Select Board approved the use of $100,000 of remaining ARPA funding to retain the services of a consulting firm to guide us through the comprehensive plan process. The state contributed an additional $100,000 to this effort. The Select Board has appointed an outstanding group of individuals with a diverse and impressive set of professional credentials and experiences. We are keenly interested in this process and deeply committed to its success, but we plan to let the highly capable Compact members drive the process. So without further ado, I would like to turn the floor over to Compact Chair Elisa Gardner-Todres. Thank you.
Welcome all to public meeting number 1 of the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee, or the Compact. For those I haven't had a chance to meet yet, as you've heard, my name is Elisa Gardner-Todres. I am the chair. I am also on the planning board and a town meeting member. The purpose of tonight, as Chris mentioned, is to learn from our consultants, VHB, and to hear from all of you. No official business of the Compact will be conducted tonight. The concept tonight is public input. We are soliciting your ideas, and you'll get a chance to do that later in the program. Again, we're at the very beginning of this process, public meeting number 1. But we have had a survey open for a little bit of time now. I encourage those of you, if you haven't yet filled that out, to find the comprehensive plan page on the town's website, and there's a link to the survey there. And if you really want to stay informed, I also encourage you to sign up for the news flashes. We have a dedicated email address, Belmont's 2050 plan at belmont-ma.gov. If you didn't catch that, again, it's on the comp plan page on the website, and you can sign up there to stay informed. And if you'd really like to get a little more involved, but just a little, we're inviting people to be engagement envoys. And that is just someone who spreads the word that this planning process is happening, that the survey is open. Encourage your neighbors and friends to fill those out, and to maybe attend public meeting number 2 if they're not here with you this evening. And with that, I am going to turn it over to our fine consultants, VHB. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisa. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Luke Mitchell from VHB, where I lead the land planning team in Massachusetts. Our team pulls together comprehensive plans for communities across the state, really throughout New England, including a couple in Maine and New Hampshire that we've done. But we're really excited to be venturing into Belmont's comprehensive plan, where we've gotten started. In a few slides, I can give you a bit of a progress update in terms of what we have accomplished so far and what we still lies ahead. On this slide, you can see the full team of consultants from VHB who are working on this project. 3 of us are here tonight, myself, Julia Mintz, and Krista McGaha. But that's not everyone. There are 8 of us in total, and each member of the team brings a different area of specialty and focus, because the comprehensive plan, of course, is an exercise in synthesizing different layers of analysis and goal setting. So we have people with environmental backgrounds, people with transportation backgrounds, et cetera. So this is our full team. We're also joined on the team by folks from CARP Strategies. And that's Annie, Shreya, and June. Shreya is here tonight in the back if you want to raise your hand, Shreya. And you can speak with Shreya. She'll be at the land use station tonight. Okay. So stepping back, you might be wondering, what is a comprehensive plan? People have varying levels of understanding about what a comprehensive plan is and isn't, so I'll just spend a few minutes on that. First, a comprehensive plan is a process that is codified in Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 41, Section 81D. For anyone interested in tracking that down, you can read all the finer points of what the state defines as the comprehensive plan. But essentially, a comprehensive plan documents where a community has been, where a community is currently, and where the community aspires to go in the future. And when I say the future, that depends on the community and what that planning horizon wants to be. It's typically 15 years plus. So that ends up resulting in a whole lot of goals and actions. Some of them are things that can be accomplished more quickly, such as changes to the zoning bylaws, as was mentioned. And then some are more medium-term and long-term ambitions that carry a price tag and require a lot of upfront planning and coordination. So that really a comprehensive plan culminates in a long list of goals and actions. A quick minute on what a comprehensive plan is not. It's not a zoning ordinance, a subdivision regulation, a budget or a capital improvement plan, or other regulatory document. Really, what a comprehensive plan is it's a planning framework. In other words, it takes all of these considerations, pulls them together, and then results in a series of recommendations that can be then carried forward by the community through the voting process and et cetera. So there are a few different elements within the comprehensive plan. First is the baseline conditions assessment. That's where we, VHB and CARP strategies, will play a strong role. We've done this many times. So we'll bring our areas of specialty and provide basically analyzing these different layers, as well as advising on setting goals. It also includes a community vision. Community vision, the format of that is typically about a half a page or a page long statement. That's a page with big bold text. So a brief statement, but it really needs to be impactful. And it's a challenging process putting together that vision statement, but something that we look forward to doing with you, because what you need to do is encapsulate the spirit of what you're trying to accomplish as a community in a relatively succinct statement. So that's the community vision. Subordinate to the community vision are the goals and actions. So for each of these chapters, which I'll walk through the different chapters in a minute, but for each of the chapters in the comprehensive plan, you can have a series of goals, and then for each goal, a series of actions that you can carry forward to achieve that goal. And then lastly, the implementation framework. So planning is great. It's great to have a plan. You need to have a plan in order to affect change. But equally important is, what is the process going to be to take all of those different actions and implement them in a rational way? So VHB, we do a lot of work on the engineering side, other teams within VHB. So we're always really interested in and motivated by the implementation process. So that plan is really going to be prescriptive in terms of how the leadership of Belmont and the town staff can take that list of actions and really carry it forward. Some of those actions are going to be regulatory changes, like updates to the zoning bylaws. Others are going to be, let's create a new program that might require funding. Okay, so where's the funding going to come from? What does it look like? Others might be hiring new staff, or creating a new town program. So there's a lot to consider there. We're going to have an implementation roundtable soon to really lean into that question. Okay, so turning back to Belmont, the committee has come up with a great title for the plan, which is Belmont 2050, Vision for a Thriving Future. So 2050, that's 25 years away. And I think that really speaks to the level of ambition for this comprehensive plan. There's a lot of uncertainty out there these days. Each year brings new uncertainties into the process. So a critical part of this process will be thinking about what those uncertainties might be in advance and trying to create a plan that can really survive as it's carried forward. Okay, so here's a list of the 9 chapters in Belmont 2050. First is on land use. As was already mentioned, there's a bit of an imbalance in Belmont between the commercial tax base and the residential tax base, which I think is often discussed. So that's going to be one of the key considerations for the land use chapter, is how can that be reconciled through zoning changes and other regulatory changes. But not that alone. There's other pieces, especially with Belmont Center and other critical areas in town. Chapter 2 is on housing. Your community recently adopted the new multifamily zoning districts as part of the MBTA Communities program. So that's great. That's an upzoning that could create opportunities for more development of housing. But you also have 3 public housing facilities in Belmont. What's the future of those? Can they be improved, expanded, et cetera? Chapter 3 is on economic development. Really interesting condition in Belmont that only 4% of your tax base is coming from the commercial side, which leads to a whole host of challenges. So that's why we don't take this chapter lightly. What can be done? And the other challenge is that there aren't huge opportunity sites in town. A lot of the sites have already been developed. So how can we find ways to surgically inspire economic development throughout the different districts in town? Chapter 4 is on historic and cultural resources. It's actually arts, culture, and history. You have a really vibrant art scene here that we learned all about. So how can you strengthen that? Chapter 5 is on open space and rec. Similarly, you have a lot of great open space and recreational assets here and a host of great partners to manage and maintain those. So maybe some more central coordination can be used for that. Chapter 6 is on resiliency and climate. So this is all about, obviously, climate change and what the town can do to adapt. Chapter 7, community facilities and services. We've learned a lot about those different pieces. Krista is working at this station back there, so if you could weigh in there, that'd be great. Chapter 8 is a unique one to Belmont's comprehensive plan. This chapter isn't in most comprehensive plans typically, but it was requested that we include this, and we thought it was a great idea. So the community cohesion, what we've done here, we've did an exercise, and you'll see it when you go to that station. We've created a diagram of the different boards and committees and things like that you have in Belmont. So we're really interested in what's working, what isn't, how can it be made more efficient, more impactful. Lastly is transportation and mobility, where you have 2 commuter rail stations, you have a few bus lines in town, and you have some really challenging traffic conditions. So there's a lot of interesting things there that can be explored. Quickly, our process and timeline. The big yellow star is where we are today. So what we've done so far is we kicked off the project in February, which included a tour of the community with the committee, which was fantastic. Great way to see the different districts in town. After that, we conducted 9 stakeholder interviews. That was more recently. But for each of these chapters, we sat down and basically held focus groups with people in town who know a lot about these different topics. So we've learned a ton from that, and from that information, we've put together a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's like a framing device. What can we learn about each of those? We're pulling together a community profile, which will feed into the plan, and then thinking about scenario testing, which is really about some of those uncertainties that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so next is on community engagement. We've created a public engagement and equity and inclusion plan, which will be our guide. This is the first of 3 public meetings focusing on issues and opportunities. Although I've been speaking for a while, today is really more about listening, and we look forward to hearing from you guys. The second public meeting is about goal setting. So if you can plan to come back for that second meeting, that's going to be great, because we're going to have a set of goals drafted, and we can really present that to you and get your feedback on it directly. And then the third and final public meeting, which won't be for a while, that's when we'll have the draft plan in place. We can present the draft plan to you, and again, get one more round of feedback from you all. And then the last piece is actually pulling together the comprehensive plan. Following this meeting, we're going to draft the community vision statement based on what we learned from you all, and which of course we'll put on the website, and there'll be different ways for you guys to weigh in on that. And then working on the comprehensive plan chapters, including the baseline conditions analysis, et cetera. And then really focus on that implementation piece, which, as I said, is really interesting to us. And then we'll pull the final documentation together, wrapping up in spring, early summer of next year.